Guess who's back? Back. It's not Gary. Someone's coming back. Happy New Year, Defects. Here we go.
And here we go. Defects, we are back. Monday Night Live. First show of 2023. First show after the holiday season. It is good to be back. I miss you guys in the chat. I miss my boys right here. Guy Forge, Very Gary Comics. We got a lot to talk about. We apologize for missing the show a few weeks ago. And then last week we kind of scheduled to be off. But you know, life sometimes it kicks you in the balls, and you gotta kind of you gotta roll with the punches, right? So we're back, we're here, we're gonna do this show. Glad you guys are hanging with us. Happy New Year, everyone. Before we get started, let me say what up to my boys. I'm gonna say hi to Gary first. What's up, Gary?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Happy New Year, and happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and all that stuff to everybody in the chat. Which I don't see the chat. I don't know what button I have to press for the chat.
On the top right, you see chat, caption, graphics. Click on chat.
Boom, there it is. I'm excited to do this again with you guys. I'm stoked. I took a couple weeks off as well on my side of things. So like, little refresher. I'm ready to go. I'm excited. A lot of news, and I think it's all positive for the most part. So I'm ready.
Is it all positive though?
I'm optimistic. Oh, there might be some things I don't know. So we'll see.
You never know. You never know. Guy Forge. Happy New Year,
What's
Kojima.
up? What's up? Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I'm excited. Yeah, we had a little hiatus there, but it's good to be back. It's good to be hanging with you guys. And all the Defects, man. Welcome back. Welcome back to the chat. Welcome back to hanging out. 2023, guys. 2022 like disappeared. I just want to say that. It went so fast.
And just like that.
I don't even...
It was gone.
So, I mean, it was crazy. You know, I think we accomplished a lot in 22. But 23 has some big things planned for the Defects, and we're excited. We're excited to share it all with you guys. So,
don't be promising too much here. Okay. All right, don't promise too much because
I'm just letting them know.
We promised big things in 2022, and what happened? We stopped doing videos, and Jay's not with us right now. So
big things.
Let's keep the bar low. You know what I mean? Like under promise, over deliver. Like let's do one of those. You know what I mean? Like
okay.
let's just keep it honest here.
So 23 is gonna suck, guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be terrible.
And now when it ends up being good, everyone will be excited. So there you go.
That's how you got to do it. You know, you gotta keep that bar low. You know,
that's the new algorithm apparently.
That is the new Defects motto. Keep the bar low.
That should be the motto.
Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently, somebody on Instagram let me know that the reason that we don't have as many viewers as we used to is because we don't do as many videos. So thank you for pointing that out because I couldn't figure it out. It was completely, I was oblivious to that fact. Thank you for pointing that out. Matt
actually called me.
Yeah.
Matt actually called me, Gary. He goes, this guy just messaged us and said, assholes, this is why you don't have your followers. And Matt was like, guy, I think this guy figured it out.
He was onto something there.
The case cracker, me in the shower.
Me in the shower, yeah. So thank you for pointing that out. You know, yes, Gary knows.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for pointing that out. As if we didn't know that already. But you know what? Life gets in the way, and we could have folded up shop. We could have just stopped doing this, but we didn't want to do that. We all had certain things going on, and we pushed through. For you guys.
Thank you.
What the fuck? We don't do this for us.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
$50 we make that we just spend right away. I mean, you know, we do this for you jerks, all right? We love you all, except for that one guy. I mean, still love you, but you're a fucking asshole.
We still love you, but go fuck yourself.
Yeah. There are some good videos actually coming this month, though. Like some good live streams. We have some good ideas. We just wanted to do some MCU stuff today because there's a lot of it. We got an auction coming up, so we'll talk about that in a little while. Guy's got something coming up that he wants to talk about. But before we get into anything, let's talk about our sponsors. Pretty soon I'm going to make Gary do these.
I can't do that.
Gary,
I do enough with Erod. I've heard of him. I do a lot of him on my channel, too. I talk about Erod, his pressing and everything. It's in the description down below.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. Have you heard of this guy who presses books and does a pretty good job at it?
Yeah.
His name is Erod212, and he goes under the name of Express Comic Book Pressing Service because that's exactly what it is. It's a service. You pay for it. He produces stuff, and you're happy. So that's the way things work in the world. Go to email him at expresscbp@yahoo.com. You can hit him up on Instagram under Erod212. Listen, the guy's got like 30 machines at this point working for him. It's a well-oiled machine, and you will not be disappointed that it comes from the Defects personally. Tell him that we sent you, and you get 10% off too. So you do get a discount. Tell him Defects 10. Get the discount. Get your books cleaned, and everybody's happy. So there you go.
That was the holiday special sponsor reel. So thanks, guys.
Yeah.
You give him that extra.
Problem.
We're going to have to charge him for that extra 30 seconds.
He'll also send the books to CGC for you and pass on his discount.
It's true.
He will, Gary. Point. That's written on the fucking promo, too. So, if the Defects don't listen to me, at least they can read, probably.
Yeah.
So, we also have Mutant Beaver Comics, guys. Let me explain something about Mutant Beaver Comics. They're out of Canada. They ship worldwide. 10% off with the Defects code Defects10. Okay? Gary knows because we've been on his computer and we know his search history. Do not search mutantbeaver.com.
Don't do that.
It'll take you to a different place. You want to search mutantbeavercomics.com. Okay?
Comics. Keyword.
Guys, he's right.
Put that comics in there. You do not want to see what Mutant Beaver brings up when you bring it up, okay? So tell them that the butcher sent you to patent the B-Man. So and get your discount code. How you doing?
Defects 10, 10% off.
Defects 10.
Yeah, we're gonna knock the rust off. It's 2023. It's been a few weeks. Let's hit that thumbs up, like Very Gary put in the comments, because it helps us with the algorithm. It's a holiday. People are still. It's kind of technically a holiday. I know Guy worked. Gary, did you work today?
I did work today.
So everybody worked except for me, but a lot of people were off, and a lot of people are still on holiday time. So let's let them. If you hit that thumbs up, it'll remind them that we are going live. We haven't been live in like 2 weeks, so YouTube's is mad at us right now. So let's share it out in the world.
There you go.
And
it's free.
And it's free. That's all you got to do. Click it. James Bicknell. Defects are top tier on YouTube. The space would be mad different without them. Appreciate all the videos and lives you guys put out. And we appreciate you, James. And that's why we do them.
Thank you, sir.
That's why we do them. So,
for the guy on Instagram, you get how many of the Bicknells,
This is true, right? He's, it's almost like a compliment because it just means that he wants us to do more. You know what I mean? That's the way you got to look at it. He's annoyed that we weren't doing it, right? So, yeah. It is what it is.
And I get it. Because when you guys do pre-recorded video, it is good content.
Yeah. And also, we weren't doing live shows every week. We've had some stuff going on. It's hard to I've had I have some health stuff going on, so like when I can't roll, it's hard to just cuz it happens at the last minute. And Guy, Jay, and Gary, they don't kind of have all the technical side for this channel. So for them to figure that out at the last moment to go live without me, it's difficult.
I barely have the technical side for my channel.
Right. So when I can't go at the last minute, it kind of puts a kibosh on the whole channel. So I feel like a lot of pressure on me, Don't
let it get to you.
No, we're good. But we make it work, right? Everybody pitches in. We do what we got to do, and we go live when we can. So we appreciate you guys being here. But enough of that. Let's get right into this. It's kind of fitting, actually. It's kind of how I feel sometimes.
Ooh.
This guy. World War Hulk. I know we talked about this several times, I feel like, over the last few years. Right, guys?
Oh, God, yeah.
All right?
Yeah,
And
I mean,
they go in and out, these rumors.
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to say, Guy?
No, I mean, listen, we've had a lot of people upset of how I'm looking for the right word, but I can only, Jay thinks the Hulk is a pussy at this point. So it's like,
Yeah. This would be his savior.
This would be his savior if this actually happened. So I think of Jay when I look at this because I'm like, you know what? Maybe we can make the guy happy with a movie for once.
This is true. So, before you fast forward or jump out or, if you want, there's new information here. Okay. And it's starting to make me feel like that this could actually be happening. All right. So let me read. This is kind of just like a verbatim kind of thing. So as per the Cosmic Circus, and if you knew how I spelt that in my notes, you'd laugh. And they've become very reliable with some of their information because they got a lot of the production side information and LLC information digging into. So they've been really good with some of this stuff this year. Marvel Studios has registered Shadowstone Productions LLC, and they are working. That's going to be an actual movie and not a show. Yes, this is actually what they're talking about, James. So that was the first bit of information that they came out with, that they registered a new LLC and it's called Shadowstone Productions. Okay. So then they went a step further and they said this LLC has a known connection to the Marvel Comics lore as the mineral used in the ship that brought the group known as the Warbound to Earth. In the comics, the Warbound were a group of refugees from the planet Sakaar, led by the Hulk in an attempt to revenge against the Illuminati for exiling him from Earth. And this is World War Hulk, right? This is part of that storyline. So they're using that little Easter egg in the production company. Now, could this mean nothing? Could it just be a nod to the comics? It can be. But we know in the past that they have used these little Easter eggs as the name for the LLC that's going to begin filming to kind of keep people sent. They're not going to name it World War Hulk LLC. They keep the scent off the trail, but sometimes they do throw a little Easter egg in there. In the past, it's been for that movie, and at other times it's been for other movies, right? Or just no movies at all, and it's just like a comic book nod. Now, for the people screaming that Disney doesn't have the Hulk rights to do a movie, well, as of June 2023, and this is per a lot of industry insider sources, that the Hulk rights will be reverting, or at least partially be reverting to allow Disney to make some type of Hulk-only movie as of June 2023. All right? So we've got some of this information in the past, and it's been easy to shoot it down because of people just saying, like, the rumors, it's based on a house of cards, it's not really good information, and the filming rights are with Universal. These two bits of information are making me feel like this is not guaranteed, but I feel much better saying that this is a possibility now than I did 6 months ago when we talked about this. So, what do you guys think?
I hope it comes to fruition. I hope it's all real. I hope they get rid of the stupid Smart Hulk, Professor Hulk. I hope I was just trying to do it in my head. How many times have we seen this new dumb Hulk versus the real Hulk? And they're like neck and neck. I would almost argue, and I didn't count it all out. I'm sure somebody can in the chat. I would say we've seen them both the same amount of times. It's embarrassing.
Are you counting the movies before?
I'm not counting Ed Norton.
You're not.
Ruffalo. Even if we count Ed Norton, that's only one more, right?
I know. But
so
I think you see him more as the Smart Hulk,
and I hate it.
Yeah, it's not good.
And I think a lot of people
screen
do.
Time wise, yeah,
it's
and
embarrassing.
I think a lot of people do. Yeah,
it's a joke.
I wasn't as mad at the situation as everybody else. I don't think. I was okay with Professor Hulk. I mean, but then they just kept going with it, and I'm like, okay, when do we get real Hulk back? At what point? At what point is this guy going to get pissed off again? Like,
well, there's a new Hulk. It's like beach bum Hulk right now, I feel like.
Yeah, that's him.
Right?
He's drinking.
He's
drinking.
not as
Namaste
corny.
Hulk?
He's a little bit, he's a little bit more namaste, a little bit more chill. That's why I feel like it's a chill Hulk right now.
A little more embarrassing.
Otto, Happy New Year, brother. So, I mean, out of all the rumors, and both, I'll ask Guy first. Like, we've got this rumor before, but does this one feel a little bit more like, are we still reaching, just hoping, or does this feel a little bit more real this time around?
No, I feel like they can do it. I feel like they the writing's on the wall. You always say the tea leaves, or but like it's I feel like they understand. There's the butcher. See, he'd be so happy to see this going on.
Yeah,
I think it's time. I think the writing's on the wall. I think it's there. I think it needs to be done. Listen, Ragnarok Hulk was one of my favorite.
Sure.
Like,
yeah.
Like, that's a badass Hulk right there.
What do you think, Gary?
That's what
I think the rumors are true.
Okay.
And I think the rumors are true because I may be the optimist in me, but I believe they're listening. And I believe Iger is listening. I believe he knows what's going on. And I think he knows what people want. And we do not want Professor Hulk. It's as unanimous as... I have not seen or talked to anybody who is like, yeah, I like Professor Hulk.
Right.
Smart.
Right.
More than our real Hulk. So I think this is a nice way to kind of eliminate that Hulk forever and do a World War Hulk. Whether it is Maestro. Whether it is a different, whether it is a Red Hulk, whether it is a version, literally anything. I don't care. Just get rid of Professor Hulk. Anything.
If they bring Maestro, it's over, dude. I love that. That would be awesome.
That'd be pretty
We'll
cool.
see. They ruined Scar already.
Yeah.
In the
I hope
10
that
seconds
changes.
he was on screen.
Let's hope that changes, but
that has to change. That's another thing. Like, that's another screw up. And it's that.
But did they hold on? Did they really ruin it? I mean, you saw
Yes.
the guy for 3 seconds.
That's enough. You saw
well,
him.
it's bad
just
enough.
the look.
Like his look.
Yeah, the look
it's
is
totally
horrible.
different.
Not even close to what he should look like. Not even close.
It's like it's essentially like a different character.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is the most concrete evidence we've had of this actually becoming true. And again, it could just be an Easter egg. The production company name could just be an Easter egg, or it could be a nod, and it could have nothing to do with this. However, this is an extremely deep cut Easter egg, and it's still a very small piece of evidence, but it's the most physical evidence we've had of this project. So, and especially with Secret Wars coming up, maybe that, because it's like, how many movies can they do? We know they're going to cut back in phases 5 and 6. We know they're cutting back, right?
Yeah.
This, I think, would be after phase 6. I think like almost like Secret Wars rolls into Battle World, kind of.
Yeah.
And this is part of that. Because if you're going to do Battle World right after Secret Wars, you can't do all of Battle World, right? Because it's just too big of a crossover.
There's too much going on.
Too much at once, right? So you can focus on like one specific thing, being this World War Hulk kind of storyline, or one of the, World Breaker, whatever, something along those lines, tie it into Battle World. I think that it's starting to make a little bit more sense. I'm still going to be a little bit pessimistic about it, but I like it. I like where it's going. We're going to check back in on this probably 6 months from now, because that'll probably be the next time you hear anything about this. So
yeah, I don't think we're going to see anything Hulk-wise either on the big screen. 6 months from now, we're only going to see Ant-Man. We're going to see Guardians, and I don't even know if we're getting a Disney Plus project.
Yeah, maybe a Disney Plus show. We'll see. Let's keep it moving. This was out there again. Rumor possibly. I don't know. But people are running it. Morphe's Multiverse, kind of, who's another industry insider that's gotten some stuff right. He's saying that Ben Affleck is being asked to play Dario Agger, however you want to say it. We had heard a rumor about this character, not Ben Affleck associated, but this character's being around for Thor: Love and Thunder or Guardians or some, because we know he's a huge villain of Thor's. But if they bring him in, I feel like it's not going to be for Thor. I feel like it's just going to be an overall arching person, and maybe not a huge role.
We've already seen Easter eggs regarding him. We saw it in Loki.
Well, Roxxon, right?
Roxxon. Yep.
He is the CEO of the Roxxon Corp, and I feel like if they're going to do something, it would be with that.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't think he'll be Minotaur. I think he'll just be Dario Agger, right?
I think he'll eventually be a Minotaur. The problem with this entire thing, in my opinion, is the fact that they're referring to Dario as Thor's best villain. That seems to be an issue.
I don't know about that. But
that might be clickbait because he's very far down on the list. Actually, Dario is a newer character, just slightly newer than Gore. Dario, I believe, first appeared in the Thor God of Thunder run, which is where Gore appeared.
Well, Gary, it's funny that you say that because he actually appears in Thor God of Thunder. That says number 19.
19.
So there you go.
Gore was what, 2, 3?
Jesus Christ. Yeah, 2. So
this is an affordable book.
Very affordable because it got hot. It was like a $25 book, $30 book. Now it's just come back down to like a $10, $15 book. You know, it's probably still maybe in the 15 to 20, but
I feel like I have talked about this run plenty. There are a lot of keys in this run, the God of Thunder run.
So again, grain of salt right here. Ben Affleck, we know he just got booted from DCU. Of course, Marvel's going to bring him in and throw roles at him, but that doesn't mean he's going to take them, right? So this could actually be happening in the background, but it doesn't mean that it'll actually happen, right? They could have literally had the idea on the table, and he just like, no, I don't want to do that. If I'm going to come to the MCU, it's for a different character. That's
what I would say. Ben Affleck
is territory.
Yeah, Ben Affleck is now. Do I think the character should come to the MCU? I do. I think he has enough involvement in the MCU where you could bring the character in, but I don't think Ben Affleck plays Dario. I think he's playing a bigger villain. Like, it doesn't need to be like the big baddie of phase 7, 8, 9. But I do think if Ben Affleck's coming to the MCU, he's playing a more significant role. Or maybe he wants to do that.
Can you see, and I'll ask Guy this because it's kind of his guy. Can you see him in a role almost like we saw Jeff Goldblum as the Grand Master? Right? Not an enormous role, but absolutely did amazing in the role.
Yeah.
Right? And nobody's going to care what they do with this character if they retcon him to just be like a businessman CEO with like some underlying powers that maybe you never really fully see. You know what I mean? Like, I could see him coming in as that CEO. Right?
He could. Yeah, he could.
And Roxxon, I think, is going to, we keep hearing about the Squadron Supreme and in the Squadron Sinister. We keep hearing those rumors. And with Roxxon Easter eggs everywhere all over Loki.
Yeah. Which that is important because you're talking about a Thor storyline, a Thor arc, and then Loki. Like, that was on purpose. Like, that's why you haven't seen it. It does. It leaves the door open, and you haven't seen it show up anywhere else yet, right? We haven't seen Roxxon anywhere. So they kept it in
early on, right? Iron Man, I think.
Oh yeah, but that's like way So more recently then, it's focused on Thor. I think it's interesting. I don't think. I mean, if you bring Thor back for a 4th movie, and you change the tone because you absolutely have to.
Number 5.
5, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You absolutely have to change the tone. This character helps, but I don't think this is your main villain. I think you need something else.
Well, that's why. I mean, I was saying the Grandmaster guy, can you see, would you want to see him kind of in that role? Like, even if it's like a character that doesn't have high importance, it just does what Jeff Goldblum did. What do you think, Guy?
I don't, Ben Affleck is not stupid. Let's put it that way. He's not gonna sign on for a role or agree to do a role that I think is a one and done role. I think he wants to be involved. I mean, in my opinion, I think he did a great job with Batman and that storyline that they did. I enjoyed him as Batman.
We're going to talk about that too.
I didn't, so this is interesting. Go ahead.
So I enjoyed him as that Batman. Let's put it that way. That you want to call it like Frank Miller Batman, right?
Yeah.
Am I correct in saying that? So do I think he can have that hidden role where he's the guy that's kind of around pulling strings?
Right.
he can pull that off because
this character can do that too,
and not be part of the main villain.
No, he doesn't have to be part of the main thing. But is it good that he shows up and he's around and he's doing things and he's getting shit done? And you know it's him that's pulling the strings, or you don't know it's him that's pulling the strings, but you're meant to know it's him that's pulling the strings. You know what I'm saying? Like something like that. I think he's a perfect guy to play a part like that, without showing like superpowers or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. I hate to say it. Like some guys, I don't know. Like.
He's literally dressed like Dario right now. He could pull it off.
Correct.
Like in this picture.
But I'm saying that's his character. He plays a lot of characters like that. So like I don't want to say he's typecast, but like it is what it is. But he can pull it off.
Yeah, actually I want to hear from the chat. I'm reading everything. Everybody wants another Thor movie. Everyone wants an epic Thor villain. Like who do you guys want to see? Who is Thor? Who would you like to see Thor up against in another movie? You know what's crazy? I haven't heard anybody talk about this, and it probably doesn't make much sense, but it doesn't make a tremendous amount of sense. You could. Why don't they go do something absolutely wild, right? And they're not going to do this. Talk about taking it with a grain of salt. Why not introduce Silver Surfer in a Thor 5 movie? You can absolutely do that.
Of course you can.
But they're not going to. But I think that would be good. I think that's fine. In my opinion. But I like Thor, so I want to see that.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep it moving. Interesting. That's another interesting one though. I just realized I left a slide out that I wanted, but there was a lot to talk about and not a lot of time. But maybe we'll add it in just as a talking point at the end. So there's been
Peter
some
Porker.
some good stuff. Chimo, what up? BX Boxer, Peter Porker, see you guys, Mr. Robot, the Beast. The Beast, I didn't forget about you, by the way.
I'm with Cameron too. There are Thor villains out there I'd like to see before Dario, but I also don't think Dario would be the main villain.
I don't even think he would be a Thor. I don't even think he would be a Thor villain. I think that
he shouldn't.
Just seeing what the MCU has done, that's a role that they use as like not connected the way you think it would be. Right, they take like the minor piece of that character and then explode it, like being the CEO of Roxxon.
Yeah.
Right. So, Secret Wars. There's been some a lot of talk about Secret Wars, right? And there's been a lot. There's actually over the last 2 weeks that we haven't been around. There's been a ton of rumors, right? Ton of Secret War rumors. Ton of Thunderbolt / Captain America 4 rumors. But the Secret Wars stuff I wanted to kind of break down. Specifically from one Twitter user that's been leaking some good stuff. They've gotten some good stuff right, and we'll get into it. And specifically, it is about the Beyonder in Secret Wars. Obviously, you know that you can't do Secret Wars without the Beyonder, you would think, and Kang. And I think this is something we actually talked about on the channel. I know, Gary, we've talked about it on the phone. But we said, like, is Kang going to just, like, replace the Beyonder? Like, is he just going to take the role of the Beyonder for Secret Wars? Because it's like they're clearly setting up Kang to be the big bad for this phase. That's clear because they're doing literally the Kang Dynasty and then Secret Wars, like part 1, part 2. So clearly Kang is the big bad. So we were like, are they just going to basically pluck out the Beyonder and just insert the name Kang for that role in Secret Wars? I know we've talked about that a few times.
So what's interesting about this is now, if the Beyonder's rumors are starting to swirl around, are we focused on Secret Wars 2? Because the Secret
Volume 2?
Volume 2.
Okay.
Because when the original rumors started swirling, it was all going to be that modern Secret Wars from about 7-8 years ago that involved Franklin Richards. Hickman's run. Was it Molecule Man?
Franklin Richards Man's in the first. I mean, maybe he's in both. I don't
remember, but it involved God Doom, right? Or Emperor Doom, God Emperor Doom, and it involved a lot of Fantastic Four, and it just involved a lot of characters we don't have around yet. So
Good
But
call, Chimo. Yep.
when those rumors started swirling X amount of years ago, there was still a lot of time to introduce these characters and make them relevant enough to make the Secret Wars movie, not word for word or similar, but like the Hickman run, right? So now when I'm hearing this, I'm like, okay, so what are we doing here? And now I'm a little concerned because I know the other rumors you're going to get into about Secret Wars. Yeah. I'm a little concerned that they're just using everything. And it's just and I'm like, I'm concerned that they're not going to tell a good story.
Well, we're so far from it, and we already know that the dates they gave are just not going to be.
They'll
probably going to be a year at least pushed back. And we know that they're retooling. We know that they're revisiting. We know that they're rewriting. We know that they're trying to clean up their mess. Okay, so I think a lot of this can change. Like even from what's happening right now, like what we are about to look at may be true today and not true 2 years from now.
True.
Okay, so that's what we got to remember with a lot of these rumors, Easter eggs, connections that we make. At the time, it may have been put in place to tease it, and then they just don't go farther with that idea because of for whatever reason, right? So at the time, it may have been meant for that, and then things change, or vice versa. Okay, so this Twitter handle has been leaking a ton of stuff, and they've gotten some stuff right, and they've gotten some stuff wrong. Their track record is pretty good because they just keep getting more and more followers, and a lot of big YouTube channels that just cover MCU news, right, without the real breakdown of comics, they use this as a source. So definitely has information, and I'm sure a lot of the information, again, is true at the time, and maybe it changes, okay? Guy, you want to throw that up before I read all this? From Aunt Debo?
I will. Super chat from Anthony Debo. Just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to the Defects and Anthony, we appreciate you, my man. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Always coming to hang with us. Always been, Defects since Jump Street. So, thank you, my friend. Thank you. And maybe, I know Matt wants to talk about my time to shine, but, maybe you give someone else a time to shine.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll just,
Make it rain on me, Defects. Yeah. I can feel it. More.
Boom. I mean, just starting off 2023.
Nothing wrong with a classic.
More. Nothing wrong with a classic. So, as you can see, it's been sitting on the screen now. The Beyonder will be the main villain of Secret Wars and a Kang variant, and then she just reiterates the Beyonder will be a variant of Kang. Okay? I'm not sure if there's any more detail on this in some of the comments like lower down, but this is just kind of thrown in your face. And then also followed up with these two. Yes, Tobey Maguire and Hugh Jackman will meet and fight alongside each other in Secret Wars. That's kind of a part of a bigger rumor that's been floating around the community that says they're going to bring back all of these characters, which we heard the same thing for Multiverse of Madness, Gary, right? We heard that they were bringing all of these other, we
were going to see Deadpool, we were going to see Ghost Rider, we were going to see Spider-Man.
And maybe at the time that was the case, but they decided don't do it because we're going to save it. So again, could this happen? It may be something they want to do, but maybe it doesn't work out. So they're talking about bringing in all of these characters from other franchises and past movies and this and that for Secret Wars, which could make sense. I think it fits the storyline pretty easily. But they're saying Tobey Maguire, Hugh Jackman, okay? And then on the bottom there, this is how they plan to make Secret Wars work without making it a 4-hour movie. Kang Dynasty will have the new Avengers, and that's She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, like all the new people, as the leads, while Secret Wars will most likely be from the viewpoint and will focus on the heroes from other universes.
All right,
so
here's what I want to see. What if, this is me just playing now, what if, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. What if our new Avengers lose? And all of our...
They have to, right?
Right, yeah. They either lose or it just extends into another movie. they lose, and our X-Men, Spider-Man, now we introduce Ghost Rider, whatever. Maybe our characters from the early 2000s are the ones that actually save the MCU and save the universe. Is that their arc? Is that what they're shooting for?
It's got to be something along those lines, right? Or maybe they don't do the lose thing again because it's like so Infinity War. Maybe they do like we think we won, but you didn't, right? Like, I think that's probably the route they'll go.
The Kang Beyonder thing is interesting too, because think about it. We've already met He Who Remains, who's a major character, right? We know Kang is a major character. We know Beyonder is a major character. Are we going to get an Immortus? I saw somebody say something about Immortus in the chat. Like, maybe these are the maybe these are the Kang variants, the major players in the time and major events.
It's a very complicated, and I want to focus on the Kang thing here. Kang is an extremely complicated story to follow, and all his variants. It's been retconned several times, so it depends on when you're reading it. The Franklin Richards thing is so important. So how do you do that? The Immortus thing is, I mean, depending on what storyline they do. That was another rumor that I heard, was that He Who Remained comes back, but comes back as Immortus. He was clearly Immortus already, and I'm not just saying that because we called it 2 years before, but literally had his clothes on and acted in the manner that Immortus acts in the like he was the guardian of the timeline, right? In Limbo, he watched Limbo. That's essentially what we saw in Locally. Obviously, they took some liberties with that, but that was the storyline there, right? They used He Who Remains as the name because I think they wanted to do the nods towards the Timekeepers, and it made more sense, right? The Timekeepers, and it just made more sense. Okay, but I don't know how they're going to do this with all the variants of Kang. It can get very complicated, and I wouldn't even. I don't think they could tell it perfectly. It's going to be like I assume that they're not going to tell it perfectly, and it's going to either be confusing or not like the comics, because the comics are confusing and they can't do that in the movies, right? So, go ahead.
I just think you're going to get a hit with a lot of stuff. I think you're going to get a hit like
just
right
from
in the
Kang
face
alone.
Of stuff.
Right.
Just for, I mean, obviously, just from Kang alone, you have a lot to work with, a lot of characters to put in there, and a lot of information to kind of throw out that maybe not everybody's used to and won't be able to follow. But you're going to get everything. In my opinion, you're going to get everything all at once. I really think you are. I really think they're just going to roll with it and see where it takes them.
It's going to be, I don't know if they could hit you with it all at once. Like, they got to slow. I mean, they've already started to slow leak it, right? Because they gave you Immortus. I'm just going to call him Immortus. And now we're going to see Kang next. And we'll probably see Franklin Richards before we get to Kang Dynasty. So that's 3. And then I think, but Guy, what you're saying is Kang Dynasty, there's gonna be a lot, like you're gonna get a lot more. Like you're gonna get these offshoot variant Kangs that we may see for split seconds. You know what I mean?
You have to because I feel like he's involved in everything that's going on.
He will be.
So everything that's gonna happen, they're gonna have to go back and either flashback as to why it happened, or show you where he was during. Like if they play this correctly, and they do these movies in the way they can do them, let me explain something. The flashbacks will be the best part of the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if they go back and touch on the X-Men movies and Spider-Man, are you talking about going back?
Gary, they're gonna hit you in the fucking face with this. And if they do it correctly, and they and just me knowing movies rather than comics, if they tell the story correctly in the movie and on screen, and they hit you with this is like some fucking like I'm trying to.
It would tie every universe and every Marvel movie ever made back to the early 2000s.
This is some Kaiser Soze shit. some stuff that, you know what? All of a sudden, you're going to be looking around the room and you're going to see Barbershop Quartet in Skokie, Illinois. You're going to see fat. I mean, like orca fat. Back when I was picking beans in Guatemala, like this is the shit that they need to do. They need to sit down. This is my point. If they do something like that, and all of a sudden you start putting stuff together, and oh my God, this happened because of this, and then they flash back to that, and they show Rama Tut doing something that, you know what I'm saying? Then they show all the characters that he is, like, you know, whoever he plays, how he did it and how he orchestrated the whole thing, and then they come back to it and they're just dumbfounded. Whoever's in the movie, New Avengers, Old Avengers, fucking Teenage Avengers, whoever you want to put in there, like, but they're like dumbfounded, and then like they're sitting there, and he's just like,
"Wow,
like, yep, that was me. That's
me. How they should do it."
That'd be cool. That'd be cool, man.
I like what Guy's saying, because I do think that Kang is going to be much. I don't want to say powerful, but, and maybe that is the right word. I think he's going to be much more powerful than we're actually anticipating.
He has to be.
That's what I'm saying.
He has to be, because you had Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet. You need Kang on another level, which is why we're not going to get Galactus till the final phases, the 3, 7, 8, and 9.
The Beast has it, like it was Kang all along. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like you need a moment like that.
It's going to be interesting, and again, I think a lot of stuff is going to change based on the change in CEO and the change of direction and feedback from the fans and negative box office results and negative Disney Plus subscribers results. I think some of this stuff is going to change, and it's funny.
And
Peter
Cerrone,
Porker,
you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It's just I don't think it's you're banking everything on Kang.
All right.
Do I think you're putting your money on Kang right now?
He's got to be the puppet master.
He's got to be pulling the strings, bro.
Right. He's got to be the puppet master, but in a way that still allows other things to develop.
We may start seeing a picture in February,
right,
when Ant-Man comes out.
So
I agree.
I like it though, in the sense that I don't want just a rewrite of what they did with Thanos and just changing out the characters. Like obviously Avengers 1. Like, we don't know what Loki's doing, and then we find out he was there for for Thanos. I don't want that same thing, and so far we're not getting that, because literally they showed us Kang before anything else. So we get Kang first, and then it's like all of a sudden so they're doing it kind of like reverse.
Reversed, yeah, it is. It's
so
reversed.
I'm happy that they're doing it that way, because it's not the same story over what we just saw, but I'm curious to see if they get it right.
You may have Kang appear in multiple movies to affect the outcome. Just here and here. And like, he's not supposed to be in the movie. Maybe not Guardians of the Galaxy, but maybe the Marvels. Maybe Kang affects the Marvels. And he does whatever he does in that movie quickly, quietly, and now boom, now he's going to be somewhere else. We already saw the outcome because we saw the end of Loki. When Loki traveled, all the statues were Kang. Do you remember when he was in the time?
Yeah. So here's the question.
TVA.
Here's the question, Gary. Would you be okay with knowing that he was there but not seeing that he was there?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like maybe down the line a couple movies, then you realize and he goes back and tells you that he was there and this is why this happened.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
We're going to, so basically what you're going to get is like, they're going to flash back to come Secret Wars, or more importantly, Kang Dynasty. In Kang Dynasty, we're going to flash back to Guardians of the Galaxy and we're going to see where he meddled.
Yep.
Yes.
Right. That will work. That would get people excited because people will be like, oh shit, that Kang did that. You know, and then
what I was saying, Matt?
Yeah.
Kang all along. Right.
Yeah, but it would be on another level if they could find a way to write him into the Sony Spider-Mans with Maguire and the X-Men movies. That would be the icing on the cake.
So,
and why they're affected and why they're in Secret Wars.
I have a question for both of you. Quick answers, because I want to go to the next thing. Peter Porker had something that I want to highlight. and then let's try to answer like 2 or 3 of the questions in the chat, and then let's go to the next topic, because there's like 2 or 3 things I want to get to, and we're getting close to 10. Do you think we will see variants of Kang that don't look like Jonathan, that aren't Jonathan Majors? Just a yes or no.
I hope so.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take a maybe, or I hope. What do you think, Guy? Do you think we'll get variants of Kang that aren't Jonathan Majors? And you guys just said, that later on we learned that was Kang.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think, Guy?
I mean, and fill me in, because obviously I don't know. Is he like shapeshifter too? Like he can just be anybody?
Just variants.
Well,
No.
he looks in the comics. He looks different. Like all
he does. Ramatut,
they're all
Franklin
different.
Richards,
Yeah.
Kang. He
They're
looks
all different
different.
looking.
They don't ever.
Yeah.
He can
Immortus.
Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't see why not. That's,
Okay.
I mean, he can disguise himself as anyone. So
I think that's how it works, Dave
Yeah.
Cerrone.
So those characters are in these movies, and then you learn in Secret Wars, or you learn in Kang Dynasty, that it was a variant of Kang.
That it
Right.
was him.
Yeah.
And maybe not. Maybe it's not the ones we know already. Maybe
And
it's the
that's okay.
ones, right? Like maybe it's the variants that they just make them variants of Kang that technically aren't in the comics, or the lesser known variants. And because if you see Ramatut, if he's like, "Oh, I'm Ramatut," we know that's a variant of Kang. Or I'm Franklin Richards. Majority of people know, not Franklin Richards, Nathaniel Richards. So I could see them doing it when it's like a character that you don't even think is a variant of Kang, right? I could see that. I would like. This is what Peter Porker said. I think you get the new Avengers and then they get beaten bad. And since we know Marvel loves to use time travel, and this is how we get RDJ back as Iron Man and Chris Evans as Cap and the original Avengers. So I'm going to save that thought. We're going to get there in like 2 or 3 slides, and we're going to talk about the nostalgia a little bit. All right. And then let's get a couple questions from our guys here. I saw a couple. Go ahead.
I definitely think we're getting Iron Lad. That's gonna be your good guy variant to Kang.
Right. What if they make Kang a Herald of Galactus, BX Boxer? I think
No.
that is when you get to just going downhill, because now
Yeah.
you're just doing too much. So if they do that, it's a bad sign. Wait, we have variants of Kang is one thing, but Beyonder can truly be anyone. Okay. What about the Beast? What did he say there? I'm going to click this one, guy. You guys think anyone has been working for Kang like Loki for Thanos? Well, that's what we just kind of got into, and maybe this question was a little bit farther.
I actually don't think so.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think they're going to do that again.
No.
I think, like you guys said, it's going to be Kang all along, and maybe we just don't know it yet. Okay?
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna finish off with this one.
Go ahead.
James Bicknell says, I think they should do Marvel's Annihilation in standalone film and have Nova be the hero focus. We need Annihilus, and I'm worried they're gonna use him for Fantastic Four movies.
I'm with James.
This is
a great
phase.
idea.
This is after Secret Wars.
This has to be after Secret Wars, right? Like, and I'll tell you this: if Annihilus is the bad guy in Fantastic Four, which is going to be before Secret Wars, as of right now, the way it sits, then that's kind of a letdown, because then he's a one and done character.
It's if he's a one and done character. You can send him to the negative zone.
Ah, that's a good point.
You can get him out, send him to the negative zone, and he builds his army and he comes back. That would be cool. Annihilus should not be a one and done character, but you can do that. You can do that.
I like that. Sentry, yeah. There's been Sentry rumors, but I didn't put them in because we talked about Sentry like 4 weeks ago. Before I really started hitting all the sources. But yeah, maybe Sentry's coming. We don't know. Let's keep going. But let's take a quick second and talk about King Kong 4.
I'm excited about this one.
March 25th, 2023. MTG Comics. They're putting on the show again. This thing's going to be huge.
2-day show.
He took a big. This is a small show, guys. Like, at the end of the day, it's a small show. He literally just started it. The whole community is trying to help out, and it's definitely been a fast success. Right? It's not getting 1,000 people yet, but for having 3 shows, he's way better off than some of these other shows starting off. And he just secured a CGC facilitator, so there will be on-site CGC submissions. So along with the 3 artists, Ryan Brown, Mark Morales, Johnny Desjardins, you're going to have CGC on site to collect for a signature series, remarks, and just if you want to submit your books and you don't like to mail them. APA Hotel in Islip, New Jersey, 2-day show, March 25th, 26th. Got to get there, guys. Check out the link. I think it's in the description. Cerrone, if you could put in the link to either the website, the King Kong website, in the chat, and I'll pin it.
One thing too, guys, here's a little trick of the trade. I'm going to give you guys a little secret here. Little trick of the trade.
No,
if you guys plan on going to the show and you guys plan on getting remarks, maybe not signatures, but remarks or full-blown sketches on sketch covers, contact the artists ahead of time and mail them your books. They will do them ahead of time. And when you come to the show, you can pick it up and get it to CGC. Make sure your witness is there from the facilitator, and you will get it yellow labeled. So you'll get that is like the way to do it. Especially a show like this, there's only 3 artists. I imagine they're all going to be very busy throughout the 2-day show. Get your stuff done ahead of time if you can. Reach out to these artists. I'm sure they'll get back to you.
This is very exciting, guys. And the weekend is, let me tell you, now that it's 2 days, it's so awesome.
It's gonna be fun.
I'm getting down there Friday.
We did go there the first night and stayed over, which was awesome.
The meatballs,
and it was just that day. There will be more meatballs. I'll tell you that.
We may have a meatball contest. If you bring us meatballs, we will give you a prize. So we're gonna be working on some stuff for this. We're gonna get your feedback.
Yeah, we're gonna get some stuff out there that if people want to make meatballs, and we're gonna have a meatball tasting contest.
Never know.
Defect table. I'm just letting you know.
Guys, take a screenshot. If you don't have Instagram, which this is always posted on Instagram, take a screenshot right now so you have the information you need. And the link is in the chat.
Yeah, I pinned it at the top. So.
Oh, there you go.
We're going to be talking more about this every week, basically. So Greg will come back on right before to give more details, floor layout, vendors. So get the tickets early.
It's early. I agree with you. It's early, but March is going to come fast. That's what she said.
Yeah.
But we're going to get there quick.
If you want to stay the 2 days, book your hotel now. I mean, that's just the way to do it.
You know what?
You're not going to be upset. Book the hotel. Go there for 2 days. Hang. You get to hang with us at night. There's bars there.
Yeah, we're going to hang out at night.
There's food there. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be chilling. We're going to be listening to, listen, last time I was there, me and Ben, CBSI Ben, we were down in the hotel room waiting for Matt to come down, but that didn't happen. But we were drinking some tequila, hanging out. There's a whole bunch of people in the bar, so that was fun.
Jay, you got to go with what you're good at. Okay, I leave for one kick on. It goes from getting beers to eating meatballs.
Meatballs is what people love, Jay.
There's room for both. Here's the thing: there's room for both. You could eat meatballs, and you could drink. There's no
the restaurant. There's 2 bars in the hotel, one in the restaurant and one is just the bar. So there's a lot there.
All right, let's keep it moving. We're going to be talking more about King Kong for sure in the upcoming weeks. What's the nearest airport?
I had a question.
I have no idea. Probably Newark.
I would say Newark.
Newark, Newark Airport. What do you say, guy?
No, I'm going to ask Gary a question because I know he'll answer me truthfully.
I could, yeah.
Before Matt's going to go to the next slide, so we're going to go to that. But here, serious question. How hot is Becky Lynch?
Oh, dude.
Right?
Wait, Becky Lynch, the wrestler?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think, what's her name is way hotter. Alexa Bliss is
I'm a Becky Lynch fan, man. I'm telling you.
I like Becky.
Redhead.
I like Becky Lynch. I don't like. She's all right. Alexa Bliss is on another level. On another level.
I never saw her. I'm gonna be honest.
All right. I got a redhead and I got a blonde, and I'm gonna go with
Becky Lynch.
I'm going with Gary on this one because she reminds me of Trish Stratus.
She's a little Trish Stratus. A little bit. No.
Listen, Trish Stratus. No one holds.
She's got the pink in the hair,
and I'm good with that. Yeah.
I think Trish was Canadian. I don't think Alexa is Canadian, but she's got the little pink in the hair, dude. She is a full-on 10. She's a 10.
Becky Lynch.
Although
Lynch
I don't
is
think it's as
badass,
far.
bro.
I do not think it's as far apart as Gary's making it seem, because the redhead.
Matt,
No, I just
Matt, you
think.
got hold on. You got to hear Becky Lynch talk.
Well,
Yeah, it's a little.
That could change. Things, you know?
It's okay. I thought the same thing, but she's a little. She's a little
she's
masculine in the
rough?
I was just gonna
vocals.
say,
now.
I
No,
could
no, no.
see
I don't know
a
about
little-
masculine. She's rough, and that's okay sometimes.
Listen. Well, baby,
Give
I
me
like her,
Alexa
you know?
Bliss. We need two things on this damn channel. We need Alexa Bliss to come on, and I'd love it if we could get on James Gunn. One of the
Jimmy
two.
G.
One of the
Try
two.
James Gunn.
Jimmy G. Jimmy G.
That's
Jimmy
right.
G, we're waiting
Jimmy
for him.
G. Let's get him on here.
All right, let's keep it going. I think we got 2 or 3 more slides. Let's talk about what's on the thumbnail. I know it's a few weeks late, but we're still going to talk about it. This happened like right after our last show. We've been obviously talking about this for a very long time. We spec'd on the books. We gave these to you, and you got them when they were $5. Thank God, right? Because now it seems like a lot of people
We're
are
gonna
talking
go back
about
up again.
Robert Downey Jr. is coming back, and it's
Is this officially confirmed?
No, it's definitely not. However, people were saying that it was because of Armor Wars. And a VP was doing a podcast, a VP at Disney was doing a podcast and said, the reason Armor Wars went from being a Disney Plus show to being a movie is because there were elements that were too big to be just a Disney Plus show.
This guy's not going to be in a TV show.
Okay.
Come on.
I do agree with
Let's be
that.
honest.
I do agree with
That
that.
doesn't mean that it's got to be Robert Downey Jr., but now there's a lot of other little tiny rumors pouring in that are just feeding this fire. And
Let's be honest.
We've thought that the Tony Stark AI was almost a lock from when he died for Armor Wars, Ironheart, and possibly Secret Wars. Maybe he's the AI. Maybe he comes back as Superior Iron Man. They talked about Superior Iron Man. Everybody laughed at it, but maybe I had nothing to do with that spec. I didn't think that had anything to do with Doctor Strange 2. But maybe there was some truth to it, just not in that movie, right? Maybe it's an idea that they floated for down the line. Again, doesn't mean that it will happen. But I'm at the point where I'm going to go higher than 50% that we get him at a minimum as an AI in some way, shape, or form, whether it's a flashback of things that we never saw before, whether it's another hologram, or whether it's a full-blown AI.
Okay, if you do a flashback, you're not getting AI. I do think you have a better shot of him as AI, but a flashback would still be cool. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with it.
And this is exactly the point, and Jay's just doing it from another place, not even live. This is the point I wanted to make. And while I understand what he's saying here, I think it could be part of the reason. Okay? Could Marvel be using this nostalgia factor? We talked about it earlier with them bringing back all of the old characters that we know and love in Secret Wars. Peter Porker saying that the old Avengers and other characters are going to come back and kind of save the day for the new Avengers, kickstarting
That
them
would
to
be
kind
sick,
of
though.
carry the torch going forward.
That would be sick. This is how it's done, kiddies.
Right. Hugh Jackman is back, which they said would never happen. Hugh Jackman is back, and now he's saying that he could possibly be playing a role past Deadpool 3, in his own words. Possibly. Could Marvel be scrambling and using the nostalgia factor and banking on that? That's what we all love, to get us back on board, to kind of right this ship.
Okay.
Could it
To
be
me,
happening? Could it be an idea that they're just floating around as one of 3? Maybe they have 3 possibilities on the table, and this is one of them right now. Because I think they're struggling that much that they are seriously considering bringing back what people loved before. And I think Jay's right. I don't think that'll remedy the situation. Although I would still love some RDJ back in the MCU. That's just my opinion.
I would too. But at the end of the day, no matter who you bring back and what they do, if you don't tell a good story, it's not gonna matter.
Doesn't matter.
It's not gonna matter. And that's where they're struggling right now, is they're not telling good stories. So you could bring back everyone and you'll get that nostalgia and people will be excited to see it. But is it going to be a good movie? I don't know. You got to tell a good story. Now, I do think it would be cool if he came back as a flashback with Rhodey. I think that would be cool for Armor Wars. I do think AI is where he's at.
If they Guy, this is for you. If they bring him back, will any other death in the MCU feel the same?
It won't mean anything.
But they're not really bringing him back, right?
Right. If you bring him back as AI or you bring him back as a flashback, I think you're safe.
All, I think he's coming back as AI. That's my opinion. Right. I don't think he's coming back in any other way. I don't think he can come back in any other way. Flashbacks are great. That goes back to my whole theory before, telling flashbacks and how things happened and how things were in place. So you could get him back for those flashbacks, and that might explain stuff when Kang is doing stuff too. So that there may be reasoning that he maybe made Stark do things, So go ahead.
You need to keep him gone. You do need to keep him dead in the present.
No, he's going to be dead in the present. I think that's stupid. If there was any other reason, I think Jay's 100% right too.
I don't even want to see him as a variant.
No, I agree.
AI, I'd be very okay with that.
Just
I think it's perfect. You know what I mean? I think it's perfect as AI because his voice commands respect.
Well, and I think flashbacks are important too in Armor Wars because it may give you a storyline. Like it may be a big deal. Like maybe Rhodey knows something, right? And we don't know he knows it yet. But he knows it, and it's because Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, Tony Stark, and Rhodey had meetings and conversations, and maybe we go back to those. Like, all right, here's my secret. This is what I'm working on now, and this is what whatever art they decide to do with Armor Wars. That's fine to me. But no, I don't want a modern, current Tony Stark in the MCU.
No. I don't even want a variant. I don't want anything with that.
I think we're all in agreement. I think we're all in agreement on
as
that.
AI. I honestly think that could be a big boost as an AI because it brings back an element without really bringing it back, right? You bring back that quippiness, that sarcasm that we love. I think majority of people loved. I think this would be really cool, and I would expect it. I would really expect it. Like this is one of those things. This is one of those rumors that I am kind of behind, and I think the spec books behind this, if you have them already, I think you're in good shape because if you bought them when they were $5 when we were talking about them, these books have gone up and down several times, and even now are starting to triple, from the $5 and $10 place again. So if you have these, you're not gonna break the bank on it, but hold on to them for a little bit because you may get a little pop right at the end because this is a character that can definitely command some excitement. If they just like we're talking about, bring him back as that AI. Don't make it feel cheap, too? Right?
What's interesting too about the AI thing is that Robert Downey Jr. can go spend a week in a sound booth and do the whole thing and just be a voiceover. You could literally make him like Jarvis.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. I think you want to see him on the screen though.
Of course you do, and maybe you do get a 3D render or something. But Robert Downey Jr. doesn't need to spend an entire summer shooting an Avengers movie.
No, but I think you do.
They won't need to.
I think you get him as the 3D rendering, like standing there, like giving direction and giving. I think you're going to see him with Riri. I think we'll see. That's my opinion.
On Disney Plus, or are you going to get Riri in Armor Wars now?
Yeah, she's going to be in Armor Wars for sure. So.
I still say Armor Wars is going to involve adamantium and vibranium.
Well, we'll talk about that quick at the end, right?
Oh, sorry.
No, that's good. You reminded me because I almost forgot about that. Juice Stain Comics. Not sure I agree with the name because that's something you probably don't want, a Juice Stain comic. But happy birthday.
But happy birthday. Yeah, happy birthday.
Jay over here wanting to get put in the bathroom real quick. I mean... of course we got to read the comics. That's why we love the movies, right? But we know Jay's mad at the movies right now. He needs something to bring him back. So, I get it. I understand it, and I'm half a step away from being right there with Jay. But Black Panther Black Panther and Werewolf by Night gave me a little glimmer of hope. I'm not there yet.
I'm with you.
The next two, Gary, right?
The next two projects look really interesting. Ant-Man and Guardians.
If those two don't hit, then I'm probably right next to Jay on that same line of just like, fuck this. Like, it just, at this point, it is what it is. You know, wait for Disney Plus if I'm not doing anything on a weekend. But they know they're on the wrong path. So I'm gonna give them this much leeway. Right.
Well, the thing that's scary about 2023 is all these projects are under the old regime. So you're not going to get
just about. Right? But they got some of the backlash and some of the subscriber numbers were already happening. Enough to do the right amount of rewrites or post editing and things of that nature. But we'll see.
I'm Mark Leniker. I'm kind of with Mark here. I am, but I'm not going to lie. As much as I dislike Captain Marvel, I really like Miss Marvel. I really liked Miss Marvel. I do like that character. I like that actress. I thought it was a very fun show. Am I looking forward to the Marvels? No, I'm not. Even with, Blue Marvel and all that. No, I'm not looking forward to it. But
listen, it's got to do is be better than the first one.
Yeah.
I think that's the only job it has. Be better than Captain Marvel.
It can do that.
I think he can do that. So we'll see.
I actually don't think I think Captain Marvel does get a bad rap. And I think it's Brie Larson's 99% of it.
Yeah, well.
It wasn't the best, but it was far from the worst.
Oh, man. We're going to go quick because we actually have a couple more things to talk about. I'll just do this one real quick. 2 MCU Halloween Disney Plus specials rumored to be on the way. This was pretty obvious because Werewolf by Night, whether it wasn't a huge success from the standpoint of like the amount of viewership, but it was very well received by almost everyone, viewers and critics alike. It was a very cheap show for them to make, which is very key, right? You got to remember, you got to look at these things in how much did it cost us to make, and then how much did we make, and did we make people happy? And they accomplished all three of those things with Werewolf by Night.
Number 3 is a distant third as importance.
Yes, it definitely is. But I think they're starting to realize it should be a little bit higher up the list, not at the top, clearly. But as per Entertainment Insider, Daniel Reitman, who we talked about on the channel before, 2 more untitled Halloween specials, presumably for Disney Plus, are reported in development at Marvel Studios. I mean, I feel like this isn't like a huge breaking news, but it's just more. It kind of points us in the direction of something worked, do it again. Like good Marvel, you did something that worked, do it again. But we know Kevin Feige's on record saying that horror is going to be a major part of the Marvel monsters. Mephisto, which I keep hearing that what's his name is going to be a much larger role than we actually are thinking that he would be.
Who?
Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto.
That's confirmed now too?
He is confirmed, yes. And his role seems to be bigger than what you actually think it would be. Dracula, Ghost Rider, Matt. I mean, there's so many possibilities. So this is good Marvel, right? This is good MCU. This is good Kevin Feige. Something worked, do it again. The special presentations are cheap. Or at least they're cheaper than the shows, right?
I agree, man. We've talked about this for a year now.
Yeah.
Streamline these shows. Special presentations work.
Yep. Go ahead.
Like make them an hour and a half, which is like an old school movie. And now everything's 2 hours plus, but you could do a lot. You could tell a lot of story in 90 minutes.
Yep. So yeah, there's like House of the Agatha Harkness thing, Iron Wars. I mean, no, Iron Heart with the Hood having to give the Hood powers. Like we're gonna see him there. So yeah, he's gonna be around. Okay. I want to spend like 10 minutes on this because we're getting late. But this was important. So the title here is not as important because I think there's like a bigger picture. And Gary, this is basically what we talked about on the phone the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've heard that Superman is going to be a younger character, right? James Gunn, that's confirmed. 100% he wants a younger character.
I actually like that idea because it gives you legs, gives you time. Like right. You could use the actor for a decade.
So wouldn't you have to, now that people are saying, wouldn't you have to do the same with Batman?
Yes.
Okay. It feels like you would have to, right?
Younger than who?
Younger
Well,
than Ben
a younger,
Affleck. A young version, right?
Of
Like
Batman.
not
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, the complete opposite of Ben Affleck, right?
Okay.
But
what's
here's
his name
the
is still
issue.
too old.
What's that?
What's Pattinson is still too old for
Well,
what you're talking about.
and that's where the problem lies. Is
I
that
don't think he is.
Pattinson's not in the DCU that we're talking about. That's the problem. And that's the dilemma. You're going to have two versions of the same fucking character under DC. Right?
And it is a tough one because I'm sorry, but I know we have a lot of Batman, but you need Batman in the DCU. You need Batman. I really think you do. Maybe not right away, but I think you need Bruce Wayne in the DCU.
So, and Guy, just to answer you, so they said that Pattinson's Bruce Wayne is around 30, which is he's not Ben Affleck, but that's still middle of the road Batman, right?
Yeah.
And Pattinson's 36 or 37. So if they're going younger with Cavill, who's I think 40, like they're going way younger, like they're going 20s. So I feel like that is the dilemma, is how they're gonna. And this guy, Gary, we literally just talked about this. It's like, how are they going to reboot this whole thing without rebooting Batman as well? And you have to make him younger. And then what do you do with Pattinson? How do you have two Batmans running at the same time?
I think
how do you do this?
You should make Pattinson part of it.
That may be the answer. But chat, do you guys like that? Would you want Pattinson in that DCU?
You can jump.
Does he want to come across as a 20-year-old Bruce Wayne?
Well, you can make Pattinson now a more experienced Batman. It's fine.
Gary, I know you still haven't watched, right?
Nope.
And Guy, what would you say? Like, he wasn't like inexperienced, but he was still like not fully.
Oh, he's learning.
He's still in that learning phase, but still he has some experience at this point, right? So like middle of the road Batman, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't even say he's to middle yet.
See, the Beast is saying keep Pattinson out of it. The universe is grounded, and I get that. Dave Cerrone, the bigger question: how do you get DC to write a Batman comic worth reading? Yeah,
I agree
that's a
with
good
Jay.
point.
You got Snyder and Capullo to do it
hire
again.
Snyder and Capullo again, right? A lot of people are saying I don't like Pattinson's Batman. And if you're gonna,
then you want to know what the answer is? Then you scrap Pattinson's story. He's gone now. Be done with all that.
And that may be the only answer.
You either use him or you scrap him. I don't think you can have two simultaneous Batmans going, and this one doesn't count. This is the one in the big story, but here's Pattinson.
Not with them both being younger.
Right.
If they had done Ben Affleck's version running at the same time as the younger version, you can get away with that.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was going to say too. You have two running with Pattinson and Affleck. If they went Affleck and they did the whole Batman Beyond thing, that would have been dope. Like it went down the Batman Beyond rabbit hole.
Well, they had talked about that too, right? That was part of something that got scrapped.
I think it's too. We can't get a Batman Beyond right now. I don't think it fits.
They have so much work to do.
Yeah.
That got close because of how far they had a lot of the work they had done. But now that basically all got wiped out and you're starting over. So Batman Beyond, all of a sudden the clock gets reset on that.
It does.
It's just like we can't even
you know what I say? You want to start all over? Let's start all over. Scrap it all. Be done and start from the ground up. Let's see. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
This is going to be interesting. I don't think there's any other way but to scrap Pattinson.
You either have to use him or scrap him.
Or and I said this, Gary, I'm like, can you reboot DC without Batman?
No. You can start it, sure, but you have to incorporate Batman.
Right. How far can you go without Batman?
Well, let's see. The DCEU failed, and they
Right.
never had a solo Batman movie. How long did that go? 7 years? 8 years?
That's true.
So you can't go that long.
And you didn't have when was Man of Steel?
Oh God, is it 10 years ago now?
I guess that kind of kicked off what we saw, right? I mean, in a way, it's the same character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
Started
10
strong.
years. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, Dr. Von Hoot's comment too. I mean, this brings you into a whole different level. So what do you in that case? What do you do with the Joker?
Scrap everyone. Get rid of everything. He already started. Let James Gunn and what's his name? Do it. Just be done with everything.
Gary,
if you want, you got to keep the Joker now. It's already in production. I get all that, and that's fine. I didn't want a musical. I don't know if anyone in the chat wanted a musical. I didn't know if anybody on this planet wanted a Joker musical. Fine, but
I was going to ask you that. So.
No, I didn't want it, and I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be good. Whatever. But it won't be as good as the first. I'll bet my bank account that this one will not be as good as the first one. But you have to scrap it all and start fresh. I feel like you just have to. So I'm totally fine with that, but you can't go X amount of years without a Batman movie. First of all, Batman has ties to everyone. Like, if you have a Superman arc, all right, that's great. We want to start with Superman, whether it's a Brainiac. We're not going to do Zod. We're not going to do Doomsday. We have to bring Lex Luthor into it, right? So you're going to get Lex Luthor, hopefully a Metallo or a Brainiac, or even a Parasite. So one of these characters for Superman to start the DCU, right? How long, like you're saying, how long do you go without introducing Batman to a DC universe? I don't think you can go a long way. I'm with Jay 100%. You can do a Zatanna. You can do you can build a Dark Justice League universe with Constantine, Swamp Thing. You could do all that, right? With Demon, all that stuff. Batman still has ties to those characters. Like, he is tied to everyone. Like, what do you go, 4 years? I would say 4 years, 5 years tops before you start. And in the meantime, you have to be done with Pattinson now. So you go 4 years from now, 5 years from now, before you cast a Batman, a new actor, and you bring him into the DCU.
So Jay's answering you and saying everything doesn't have to be tied together. Maybe,
dude,
but I think it does.
Jay,
wait a minute.
Hold on.
This is why he's still a defect.
Perfect.
Because it's literally what was in my mind. And I'm saying,
it does.
What if we stop thinking about superhero movies as what Marvel's doing?
And
maybe it's what they did in the comics. Like, of course, at some point they get connected, and there can be small connective tissue, but we don't need to build a pyramid that becomes to this point. Maybe we could build a whole city, and one part of the city has not much to do with the other half of the city.
And so I agree with you.
I think that's an extremely good idea.
I agree with you because that was the early MCU.
Right.
And it was very successful.
And it
went that way for, again, 5 to 6 years. When did Avengers come out? Like,
I think 11 years, Gary, it took to get to that point.
No, it took 11 years to get to everyone coming together.
That's a long time, though.
It took 3 to 4 years to get the Avengers to get together. Right. So that's what I'm saying.
That's still a long time.
It is, and that's why I'm saying you can go 4 to 5 years before you bring Batman in.
Yes, okay.
That is the max, and that is scrapping Pattinson today. Get rid of him. You're out of here.
I think you almost have to. Like, James Gunn's going to realize he has a dilemma because
you can't have two Batmans the same age. You can't do it. It'll be confusing.
There's too many things fresh in your mind. Like, how do you they redid Batman after how many years from Michael Keaton? A whole generation almost went by. 25, 30 years went by, and you were able to do it again. It's so hard. Like, if you're going to do a reboot and then just bring another one in, I like kind of a combination of what you're saying, Gary, and what Jay's saying. Sorry, Gary, go ahead.
No, it's okay. Do we not get Christopher Nolan and
I don't think
Christian Bale back? Man.
I don't think so.
Like,
I wish, but I don't think so.
But how do you let that pass?
But Christian Bale's also too old.
But he said he would do it with him.
Yeah,
He's
but
not too
Christian
old.
Bale's
It's
too
done.
old for
James
this
Gunn.
plan.
James Gunn is done with. I think he realizes the only way, and he's shown it by literally getting rid of everyone. So it seems, right, that the only way to be successful and build from the ground up is to just revamp. Is to start with almost everyone new. You almost have to, because
it's like building a championship team.
You have
blow
so
it
many
up
at some point you have to just blow it up, because you have too many unfinished projects that become harder to pick up and recreate than just throwing it away and starting new.
DC Jay's right, by the way. DC animated is like on another level. They have a great whoever's doing that stuff is fantastic.
Right. And I think like the Peacemakers of the world and the Suicide Squads of the world, like that's going to be its own thing. That's not going to be a crossover type thing. Like,
and
of
that's
course they're
fine.
going to. Right, they're going to mention Superman and Batman once in a while, but that's the end of it. So why can't you do that, like you said, with the Dead Man, the Zatanna, and the Swamp Things, Constantine?
But eventually, by the end of the road, but I'm giving you 4 to 5 years of that, because I agree with you. You don't have to bring everything together. I'm with you. But remember, the Avengers movie hit after what, 3-4 years?
Yeah, 4 years, yeah.
4 years. Okay, you had 4 years of solo films, which was perfect, by the way, which is why I keep shrugging and like what DC and Warner Brothers was doing between, all right, we put out a Man of Steel movie. You know what we need now? Batman vs. Superman, and then a Justice League movie. Like, it was like they rushed everything. Like, Batman never got a solo movie, but we had Birds of Prey and Suicide Squad and just shit like that. Even Shazam, which I liked. But we got a Shazam movie before a freaking solo Batman movie, which, by the way, they never even introduced Green Lantern. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah, I don't know who was making the decisions over there, but they were all wrong. Like, everything was wrong. So, yeah, you blow it up, including Pattinson. You start from the beginning, and you put it together the right way, slowly, and you tell a great story.
Guy's just not happy because I think he sees Nolan and Bale slipping away. I think it's almost a slam dunk, to be honest with you, Guy. You know,
that what?
I don't think it's a slam dunk that they're not back. You know.
Oh, don't get me. That is the best trilogy in all of comic book movies. Like, that's it.
2 things that I would have loved. I would have loved to have seen one more from those guys, and then I would love to see a Batman Beyond, because I think having an old Batman and having him mentor, like that would be a cool storyline. I really think it would be.
It would. I think it would. I just don't think it's going to happen now for a while.
And rightfully so, John Swanson. We've been talking too much. He needs an Eva break, Matt. So just click that and let's move on.
Yeah. I just lost it for a second.
Yeah, it's
there it is.
Defects. Guess who's back for some more super chats? Yeah, baby. Let's go, Defects.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay. I like what Cerrone said, though.
I'm just trying to get like a different angle.
Yeah, just a little different angle. Toy sales drive these decisions. And it's so funny because, again, this is something that we've all talked about kind of privately. Not probably, just not on the show, is that, they're looking around, meaning Marvel and Disney, and saying, like, I mean, you go back 7, 8 years ago, 10 years ago, on Halloween, every fucking kid that came to the door was either Spider-Man, Thor, Iron Man, Captain America, whether it was a boy or a girl, Spider-Gwen, it just blew up. Have you seen any of these new characters? I saw a few, but it is nowhere near. I don't see Captain Marvel.
All I
cosplayers,
see newer.
Don't get me wrong, but Cerrone's specifically talking about toy sales, costume sales, things of that nature.
The only thing on the newer side that I see is Miles, and remember that was an animated movie.
And it's a Spider-Man.
And it's a
who
Spider-Man.
is the most recognizable character out in Marvel. I'll just say Marvel,
Yeah.
So 100%. I mean, we could talk about that all day, but man, James Gunn has some serious work to do. I'm not going to sit here and I'm not going to bullshit you guys and pretend like, oh, James Gunn's got it. Like, he's got his work cut out for him, dude. He's got his work cut out for him, and it's what's good is the bar. Like, he's the defects right now. The bar is pretty low, to a point, right? Because Gary, Wonder Woman was a great movie.
The first one, awesome.
Right,
the first one.
Man of Steel was a great movie.
I liked Shazam.
Shazam was a good movie.
I like Shazam.
It was a solid movie.
You guys might think I'm crazy. I actually liked Aquaman. I thought all the dialogue was cheesy and corny as hell, but I thought the movie was all right.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was all right.
So no, nobody's officially fired. Who are we talking about there?
Ezra Miller.
Pattinson. Ezra Miller. He's not. They're gonna go through with that movie. Apparently,
yeah, they're gonna have. Yeah.
Because I think that movie is very important to them going forward. But I don't know. That was before James Gunn. So I don't. Again, so much of this can change.
I think all of everything hitting the big screen in 2023 for DC is it. That's it. They're done. After this is James Gunn. Yeah, I think 2023 is the last of everything old school.
I mean, clearly Ezra Miller is gone after this, but they can't fire him before the movie comes out.
No, they have to do all the publicity and all that, right?
They can't. They just can't. Like, he would literally have to kill someone at this point, I feel like.
I mean, we're getting close.
We're getting pretty close. Yeah.
So, oh, man. So, I mean, there's a lot of cool conversations to have out of the stuff that we looked at, which is why we didn't hit some of those little smaller rumors that have been rolling around. Because we hit some of the bigger topics that we could kind of talk about, and the chat was crazy tonight. Like, there were so many good questions, there were so much good dialogue going back and forth. So I like
the ideas coming out of the chat, the input, the like, what about this, what about that? Like, that's the best.
Gunn needs to bring in Grant Gustin. What else is he going to do?
Nah, he'll recast Flash.
I know, but that kid's perfect.
No, he'll recast everyone will be new. If you're gonna recast Henry Cavill, you're gonna recast everyone.
That's what I'm saying. Like
everyone's gone. There's good. Don't keep anyone.
Yeah.
Now I thought, and I probably said it on this channel, that they could have used Flashpoint to recast certain characters and start fresh. It doesn't sound like they're going to do that. It sounds like everyone's starting from the beginning, all new characters. I did hear a rumor that Gal Gadot was going to stick around, but I don't know how true that is, and I don't believe it. If you're getting rid of Cavill, Affleck, and Momoa is now Lobo. If you're doing that, you're starting from the bottom. You're starting fresh.
Yeah,
she's gone, and it's upsetting because she's nice to look at.
I don't know who a good Batman would be. To be honest with you, I don't think the Batman is out there right now. The next Batman is even on anyone's radar.
I think you got.
He's probably like a 21-year-old kid trying to break in right now, and then Batman will be his big break. Yeah,
you got to put him on ice for a while.
I agree.
So, I'm done, guys. I'm pooped.
Me too.
I
worked
spit out a lot. We talked a lot today.
Me
it was
too.
good stuff. Anything you guys want to talk about before we get out of here? The floor is yours.
I'll be on Whatnot tomorrow night, 8:30.
Okay.
Every
Part
Tuesday.
Take your pants off Tuesday.
Yep.
Take your pants off Tuesday.
Take your pants off Tuesday on Whatnot.
I'm glad that stuck, honestly.
Yeah.
I feel like it didn't just on this channel.
Just between you two.
Yeah.
But that's all right. Take your pants off Tuesday.
Yeah.
On Whatnot.
It's gonna catch on.
I'll be on at 7:30 tomorrow. I got some good stuff actually. I took a couple weeks off for the break and everything. I've got a good auction. It's actually everything's actually up right now. You can actually go to the stream and see what's dropping.
Isn't it at 8:30 or are you going on a different time?
8:30 Eastern. Erod starts at 7. I go on at 8:30.
There you go. Okay.
Can I ask you a question? Speaking of Erod and yourself.
Yes.
How about that Darkwing Duck, man?
Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
That?
Did I show it on here?
I know we didn't. No, we didn't show it on here.
Amazing.
I mean, we'll show it next week.
Hold on.
You got Darkwing.
I got
You got Darkwing Duck.
I got the Darkwing that me and Erod are dropping, and I have the Ronin. I could actually show it all now. This is dropping on January 27th on Whatnot. So here's the Darkwing.
Pretty badass.
Hold on.
I like the homage. It's a. I like when homages are very subtle and they're not like overdone. And this is a subtle homage. Not
A little
everyone's
fuzzy.
going to know what that is, right?
Right.
And it's done enough where it's the pose, but there's enough difference in it where you're not just copying a cover. I like that.
It's
I like
Yeah.
it's so good. So
Would you like
good.
to see the Ronin?
I
Yes,
think
I
this
would.
is I think this could be some of Ryan's best work, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's so
So-
good.
I mean, sick.
I'm sorry, it's fuzzy, guys. Oh wait, what if I do this? Will this help?
We'll get I think it's just
We'll
your
get them
event.
up there.
I'll just get them to you, Matt.
Well, yeah, next week we'll show them. I'm sure Gary will be back.
I was just excited about them. So
Yeah, those I'm dropping on January. Actually, it's actually kind of big news. We're dropping that on January 27th on Whatnot. But what's really cool is I'll have a CGC witness here as the facilitator. No names. Ryan Brown will be here, so we'll be able to offer you guys CGC yellow labels for sketches, remarks, signatures, and everything in between. So
awesome.
that's going to be cool the night we drop both of those,
There you
which
go.
is awesome. We're going to do package deals and everything. I'm stoked. I can't wait.
So we'll definitely talk about that more as it gets closer.
Yeah, that's about 4 weeks, a little less than 4 weeks away.
And then Gary's got a new video out today. Go check it out on his
Oh,
channel.
yeah!
His
My
link's in the
Secret
description.
Santa, part
Yeah.
1.
Some fun stuff. And then obviously
Come-
his regular videos.
Very different video today, guys.
It's a different video, but you know, it's a little different. And then you get back to the comic stuff, right? So
Yeah.
it's,
Friday,
It's all
I'll
right.
hit you up with something
There
you're
you
used to.
there you go. Mark your calendars. Probably tentatively Friday, January 20th. Going to be the next Defects auction. I'm going to confirm with Jay. I'm going to confirm with Gary. I just mentioned it to Guy. It seems like we're good for that date, but we will probably know for sure by next week. And that's it. We'll be back next Monday. We're going to try to do some more market information pretty soon. I got something in the works for you guys to kind of bring another layer of market information.
Ooh.
We'll see where it goes. You know, we'll see where things are. We'll see where things sit right now. Is it a good time to buy again? I don't know. We'll find out though. That's
I'm
it, man.
always
Guy,
buying.
That's it. You're always buying. Guy,
Just always buying.
anything before we get out of here, Guy?
No, Defects, thanks. It was happy 2023. Glad to be back and get ready for a fun ride.
Oh, the Beast sneaking one in there.
The Beast snuck
the
in a
Beast.
super chat. We appreciate you, man. And we'll leave you with a little Eva, and we will catch you guys next Monday night, 9 p.m.
All right, Defects. It's time to turn it up a little. I think you guys have been playing it nice lately. We need to get a little raunchy. What do you think? Can Batgirl handle that? I just wanted to let you guys know you are hot shit. Keep doing what you're doing. Because I